For many years, we have all witnessed various financial scams done by either political parties or businessmen. Did you know how an influential politician used something as simple as a livestock to withdraw crores of government money? Or how a man manipulated the stock markets using fake bank securities? In this video, I will give a brief of top 5 biggest scams that India has ever seen. Stay tuned for the part 2. Hey there, if you're watching my video for the first time, then do subscribe, and while you're at it, don't forget to hit the like button as well. With that out of the way, let's get started. In 1991, the arrest of Kashmiri militant Ashfaq Hussain, a Hizbul Mujahideen terrorist, revealed that his organization received vast payments through Hawala network. Further, during the interrogation, Surendra Kumar Jain's name came into picture. The CBI raided Jain, his brothers, relatives, and businesses. They seized Indian and foreign currencies, along with 2 diaries and 2 notebooks. These diaries consist of details of huge payments made to people who were high-ranking politicians and bureaucrats. Big politicians from multiple political parties, including BJP, INC, SJP, and Janata Dal, received payments varying between 50,000 to 7.5 crore. Those accused included L.K. Advani, V.C. Shukla, Devi Lal, Sharad Yadav, Balram Jhakar, and Madan Lal Khurana. However, at this point the investigation stopped, but later by the efforts of few journalists and media, the Hawala Scandal came out as a breaking news in 1996. More than 132 crores of payments were revealed, but due to lack of evidence and influence of ruling political party, no one was convicted. The fodder scam was a corruption scandal that involved the fraud of about 9.4 billion rupees from the government treasury of Eastern Indian state of Bihar, which is equivalent to 969 crores in 2021. People who were involved and later arrested were then Chief Minister of Bihar Lalu Prasad Yadav, as well as the former Chief Minister Jagannath Mishra. On 23 December 2017, Lalu Prasad Yadav was convicted by the special CBI court while Jagannath Mishra was acquitted. This scam was initially done by small-scale government employees submitting fake expense reports, but later this grew in magnitude after attracting politicians and businessmen. These reports consist of expenses of fictitious livestock, also called fodder. Medicines and animal husbandries were also included in the reports. In mid-1970s, Jagannath Mishra served as CM of Bihar and earliest to be accused of the involvement. In 1985, the Comptroller and Auditor General of India, T.N. Chaturvedi, noticed late submissions of monthly account report. As years passed, Anti-Corruption Squad took matters into hand and finally broke the scandal. More than 500 accused have been convicted and awarded punishments by various courts. On 30 September 2013, a special CBI court sentenced Lalu Prasad Yadav for 5 years and Jagannath Mishra for 4 years. The Great Gobbler scam is one of the biggest multi-million-dollar scams in Indian history. What really happened was that various businessmen and politicians had siphoned around 4,407 crores from a scheme that was floated by Government of India in order to benefit the poor cobblers of Mumbai. Instead, it went into the pockets of rich. The money of the scheme was meant to provide low-interest loans and tax concessions to the Mumbai's poorest cobblers who work 16 hours a day for less than Rs 150. But not a single penny reached these cobblers. The main heads Sohin Daya of Dawood Shoes, Rafiq Tejani of Metro Shoes, and Kishore Signapurkar of Milano Shoes created fictitious cooperative societies for cobblers. On behalf of these non-existing cooperative societies, they availed loans of crores of rupees from different banks. The banks whose officials were involved in the scam are Maharashtra State Finance Corporation, Citibank, Bank of Oman, Dena Bank, and 3 other small banks. The people involved were finally convicted by courts, and involving the banks who gave the loans were also banned for their negligence. This was one of the worst scams in India that cheated the poorest people of the society and benefited a lot of rich. The 1992 Indian stock market scam was a market manipulation carried out by Harshad Mehta with other bankers and politicians on the Bombay Stock Exchange. Techniques used by Mehta involved having corrupt officials signing fake checks, misusing market loopholes, and fabrication to drive the prices of stocks up to 40 times their original price. When the scam was discovered in April 1992, the Indian stock market collapsed, and the same banks suddenly found themselves holding millions of INR in now useless debt. The scam was biggest money market scam ever committed in India, amounting to approximately Rs 5,000 crores. It was a systematic stock fraud using bank receipts and stamp paper. Harshad took money from bank in exchange of fake and fraudulent bank receipts and invested the money in the stock market. Using this huge amount, he was able to manipulate the stock market and get higher returns. The scam broke out when Mehta got securities from State Bank of India against forged checks signed by corrupt officials but failed to deliver the securities. The news was out, and as a result, the stock market saw a huge fall. The index fell from 4,500 to 2,500, representing a loss of Rs 1,000 billion in market capitalization. The Bofors scandal was a major weapon contract political scandal that occurred between India and Sweden during the 1980s and 1990s. It was initiated by Indian National Congress politicians, including the then Indian Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi and several other members of the Indian and Swedish government. On March 24, 1986, a 1437 crore deal was signed between India and the Swedish weapons manufacturer AB Bofors for the supply of 400 155mm howitzer guns for Indian Army. On April 16, 1987, a Swedish radio station broke out a story based on a whistleblower in the Swedish police, alleging that the reputed Bofors had paid bribes to Indian politicians. This was picked up by a young journalist of The Hindu, Chitra Subramaniam, who happened to be in Sweden at the time covering another story. The scale of corruption was far worse than any that Sweden and India had seen before. The news broke out in India as well and directly led to the defeat of Rajiv Gandhi in 1989 Lok Sabha elections. The then PM VP Singh led government barred Bofors from signing any contract with India. Further, the CBI had registered FIRs against the president of AB Bofors, alleged middlemen Vin Chadda and Hinduja brothers as well. That's all I had for this video. If you enjoyed, then drop a like, and if you like watching interesting videos like this one, then do subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you're notified when I'm back again.